championship experience matters.
Sure does.
It's why the Warriors are wiping the floor with Luka Doncic and Mavericks. Like, when you've been there and you know what that's like, man, that team is just prepared. They're hitting on all cylinders. Love Luka. Luka's going to be a star. But the Warriors,
they got no prayer.
The Warriors they're clicking on all cylinders right now. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And on today's episode, we have a ton to get into. We are going to talk some record sales with baseball cards, not something we've typically done here in the past. We've got from what Jason says, a loaded play of the week or a crazy play of the week. Got a ton of Facebook questions once again, but we are going to start with the usual. What is on your mind? Ty started us off with a little Katy Perry beforehand, so I know Ty's fired up. So Ty, we'll let you go first. What is on your mind?
Chris Kreider is major on my mind. Although we missed to open that goal the other night, and then I thought we were going to lose the game because of it, but he buried it. Down 2-1. Game tonight at home. Game 4. It's not a series until someone loses at home. You know, age-old saying. It's 7:09 currently for me. I'm up and at it early, West Coast style. Had a pretty ridiculous 4-day span and stretch. VCon was mind-blowingly next level absurd. Then I went on to a wedding that was mind-blowingly epically absurd. And then eBay decided to drop NFTs. And basketball's been pretty boring. That's what's on my mind.
Interesting take there at the end. Lou, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Jed just said it in our chat. I think the number one thing on my mind is that we did a break for Card Talk Play of the Week winners. I want to say that was 3 weeks ago now, right?
In Miami.
Right? Yeah, in Miami, we did a break. One of our lucky listeners, Cardboard Chaser, shout out, got a very, 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 very lucky black cat out of 2 epic, 2 of 2. They then made a very, very smart play and listed it on eBay to have it end the night of VCon. So I think it ended around 7 o'clock on VCon night, which was a smart play. Wasn't anticipating that, honestly. That's really a good move.
It's a dialed-in dog play.
That's a good point.
I just love it how Lou's like, we had a lucky listener win a very lucky black cat.
We did. They're
who got very lucky
listener.
and ended. I mean, just wow.
There's a lot of luck involved.
Luck.
Anyway, so it ended at 59.88. So shout out to them.
Free $6,000. That pays for the trip to the National.
That's correct. It's a free $6,000 in ETH terms, according to the current market trajectory. That's about 14 ETH in the next week and a half. So that's a great job. I'm in pain.
It hit me hard in the heart.
Yeah, that one hurt for sure. But I'm pumped. I'm really excited. I'm excited to do more for Player of the Week listeners. I think we have some stuff in the works. I'm looking at some things that we're planning to give away to them soon as well, right in front of me. I'm just pumped about Health Card Talk.
This is not what's on my mind, but if you listen to the show and you have not considered making a play of the week, I think this is the perfect example on why you should why you should try to consider making a play of the week, right? Somebody won $6,000 free for doing something you're already doing. You just sent Jay a DM on IG, Card Talk Pod, got a, free, we gave out free tickets to the National. We're going to have a little get together at the National. There's plenty more stuff I'm sure that we'll work on in the future, but not a bad free $6,000. That's a play in itself.
Yeah.
Is winning play of the week, getting a free V Friends, very lucky black cat, 2 of 2, selling it for $6,000. But either way, incredible play. What's on my mind? A couple things. The first one being that we have 9 weeks until the National. We're 9 weeks away. I posted a video on IG the other day about 9 weeks, 63 days, right? 30 minutes a day. That's a little over 1,800 minutes. that you could be spending. That's 30 minutes a day, every day for the next 9 weeks, would put you in a much better position for the national by putting in just a little bit of time every day. Get up 30 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes later, get up earlier 15 minutes, right? But the ability to, scan cards on Monday, list cards on Tuesday, ship the cards on Wednesday, and repeat that for the next 9 weeks, right? If you do $50 a day every single day from now until the national, you'll walk into the national with more spending money, maybe a nicer hotel, maybe a VIP pass instead of the regular admission, which gets you in 30 minutes earlier every day. So you're 30 minutes ahead every day. I just think there's a ton of opportunity by putting in 30 minutes every day to get that much farther ahead when the national comes. Again, it's going to happen. And if you're going, this is the time to prepare, not 14 days before it when you're like, hey, I don't have any money, I got to go sell. Because when you got to sell 14 days before the national, you might not quite have the leverage you're looking for. But if you can take advantage of that now with that 30 minutes, I think you'll be set up very, very nicely 9 weeks from now when we're in Atlantic City. So
agreed. So we got 9 weeks. Or do individuals have the ability to turn around PSA graded cards between now and national?
Very, very close. It will be right around that. My understanding is it's currently taking, I think their PSA's current estimate on economy is about 90 days. So it's not saying they couldn't get it done sooner. I just think it's going to be, if you're trying to go the cheapest way possible, you could get express orders back, super express. You could get faster orders back much quicker than that, like the next month for sure. But if you're trying to flip graded stuff with the PSA's slowest option available at the moment, the economy, I'm not overly optimistic.
How about SGC?
Yes, takes about 6 weeks at the moment. So you're getting close, but again, you want to walk into the national with some graded cards, some of your best cards you're trying to get graded. Now is the time to do it. Again, preparing now. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. 9 weeks from now, we're at the national, you'll be in a much better spot.
Hell yeah.
The other thing on my mind, I waited till Lou to get back because Lou's, been my day one F1 guy. Ty, you just got on a little later. We still love you.
Mm-hmm.
But it is Monaco week. Definitely
right, it's Monaco week.
Definitely looking at Card Talk 2023 in Monaco for sure.
Yeah,
my guy Charles, home race, rocking with Ferrari today. Disappointing end to the Spanish Grand Prix where my guy's up, 20 plus seconds on fresh tires and just decides, hey, we're not going to, finish the race here. Just a little power failure. I had heard that Sainz did not get the updated engine, that it was Charles that got it. And
I saw that as well.
And then it failed. So that was super disappointing. I will say, don't sleep on Mercedes. I heard Lewis made 10 seconds up on Max throughout the race. Went from 18th or 19th to 5th, 6th. It's just my man's coming. And George, man,
be careful.
Be careful.
George.
Merc.
George,
careful.
Man, podium, got third.
He's been 5th or better in every single race.
Mm-hmm. Just he's good. Max has the best car at the moment. I think Max is the best driver. He's good. But
be careful.
Be careful. Don't sleep on Mercedes.
The championship race is more open than people think.
And it's the same point I would get as we're transition into the NBA. Championship experience matters.
It sure does.
It's why the Warriors are wiping the floor with Luka Doncic and Mavericks. When you've been there and you know what that's like, man, that team is just prepared. They're hitting on all cylinders. Love Luka. Luka's going to be a star. But the Warriors, man,
they got no prayer.
The Warriors they're clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair for you to say Luka and the Mavs. I feel like Luka's doing everything he possibly can to stay alive, and there's just no one. What happened to Jalen Brunson?
He's never played with an all-star. I don't know. Jalen Brunson cooked CP.
Then he disappeared. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, I tweeted the other day that Luka, man, just carried this team. They're in the Western Conference Finals with nobody on that team, and someone said, "Don't discredit Dorian Finney-Smith and Jalen Brunson," and I giggled.
Come on, man.
Those guys aren't starting
Brunson
on any.
Might actually be good. I don't know, but he disappeared this series.
But is he starting on any playoff team?
Remaining, no.
Any of the ones in the last round either?
I don't think so. Maybe, but not
borderline.
Am I crazy to want to buy a Mark Messier, Brian Leach, Premier Pairings patch auto card?
That's a cool Rangers fan card.
I feel like it is too.
Look at you like.
That's a good point.
All right, Ty, we're gonna go ahead and give you your moment here. Mbappe staying with PSG, and reports had come out that he was also talking to Liverpool, which I believe you had mentioned on the show previously as something that was
sneaky,
but
was super real. The money's very legit, meaning money's a lot of money. I think he did a 2-in-1 deal, or it's 3 years, but I think he got like $250 million post-tax locked up.
Yeah, I think it was like PSG. 68 million a year post-tax.
Yeah, plus a hefty signing bonus.
That's a lot of money.
I think all things considered, over 3 years, he's doing $250 million.
Does he get ownership percentage too, or something?
No, that came over from the Messi situation at Inter Miami. I think you're weaving those two situations.
That might be what's happening.
But he's staying in France, staying in Paris. Got the World Cup coming up. If he had left and gone to Spain ahead of the World Cup, there would have been a little bit of animosity. He's so young; he doesn't have to deal with that. He's got 3 shots now, win it with Paris, all-time cemented as legend of legends. I still think that all signs point to the Premier League. I think that La Liga has a lot of troubles going on, and Real as well is such a huge club, but like the league isn't what the Premier League is, and I think that's a large reason why they're looking to break off and do more Super League stuff, because at the end of the day, they're just not playing enough games in the league that are driving business relevancy and value is what I would say. Erling Haaland going to the Prem was big, but every weekend in the Prem. And now, I think the Prem rivals the NFL over the next, 5-10 years. And the second the World Cup in Qatar ends, it's game on for American capitalism in the sport. And I think you're going to see Haaland parading around the U.S. as a front man for Manchester City. I think you'll see him play probably in Yankee Stadium at some point, or at least walk out on the pitch because the NYCFC connection. World Cup Finals probably going to be either in LA or in New York. They'll start doing a lot of that promoting. The reason next season will be the first season in the Premier League that over half of the clubs are backed by American ownership groups.
Is that true?
Correct.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and so it's just how I see it. And I think that the side for that big of money, you need a lot of parties involved, and that's why Liverpool was always fascinating to me, because you've got Nike. I think
that's LeBron. LeBron's in Liverpool.
Yeah,
right?
LeBron's in Liverpool. It's the owners of the Red Sox. They just bought another team. I'm trying to remember. That bought Fenway Sports Group is Liverpool, and there's just a lot of money there and can be subsidized by a lot of different sponsors, this, that, what have you. I think Liverpool will eventually wear Team LeBron jerseys. I've talked about that whole thing.
They bought the Penguins. That's what it was.
They just bought the Penguins. Nice. Legendary team, by the way. I hate them but we beat them, so I can give them some love. Yeah. Mbappe is everything. They're going to be the favorite to win the World Cup, in my opinion. I'm happy he stayed in Paris, personally.
Interesting. All right. I want to, Ty, you talked about the Rangers earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched any of the other playoff games?
That's the only thing I've watched.
I've been watching the Oilers Flame series, which is sick. Actually,
the first game was like 9-6.
Yeah, the game on Friday night, I was definitely a little at the wedding, and I came back, and I was on the West Coast, but it was still on, and it was tied, and I watched them bury 2 breakaway Gs, the Oilers. The Oilers are super fun, and I'll be real, I used to play with the Oilers crazy a lot before they got McDavid in NHL, when they had Nugent Hopkins. They still have him, but he's not like the boy. Oilers were a fun squad to dangle with back in Shell. So that's been fun, but the Avalanche are going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, the Avalanche are freaking good.
Next level.
McDavid is unbelievable, though.
Yeah, McDavid is
the
really
best
good.
player on the ice. It's not even close.
He made a play the other night. He had those 2 back-to-backs. He had the one goal taken away, and then boom, 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 just dangle the goalie. It's just like
Yeah, I posted that. I mean, just takes a little body, passes it up, gets it back, just
he has no fear too, and he's going,
dirty,
when he's going in
so fast.
He's so fast. Yeah,
it's
been good as like I'm only watching the Rangers game. Like I only care about the Rangers series really, and then right after the Rangers series in this round,
it's perfect.
It's been Calgary. It's been awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely some good young talent in the league though outside of McDavid. Like obviously Matthews was the year after. I think Kareem in Minnesota, right? Kaprizov is a stud. Kale McCarr is a stud.
Yeah, the dude
Sebastian
that we're playing against is
Hurricane
nasty.
Kid. Yeah,
Yep.
there's some good young talent.
Yeah, Panarin's nice. Like Panarin's got some real dangles, but
I don't have anything good to say about him.
I'm a fan.
He's not like he's kind of there, but you watch him play for the Rangers, you're like he's nice, and then you watch McDavid, and you're like, ooh, Panarin's like kind of like a role player.
Yeah, McDavid's out of this world. NBA playoffs though. Before we move on, you've got an incredible series with Boston and Miami, right? Just back to back.
The thing is, there though, it's been kind of blowout. There was like the one good game, right? The rest have been kind of.
Yeah, I mean the one last night was 20.
They were up like
points.
26-4.
Yeah, I saw it was like 17-1 or 18-1.
Can we go back for 1 second?
Yes.
Sure.
Hockey stuff,
Mm.
cards. Riot, have you been paying attention to like high end hockey recently?
What's high end hockey?
Like patch autos, like high, like you know, like the good
like
patch
6-figure
autos.
cards.
Not necessarily 6-figure. I honestly don't know what the names of the good products are. This is why I'm asking the question.
The cup.
The cup, yeah. So the question I'm going to ask is, have you seen like a decent uptick in pricing of the younger guys?
I haven't seen it recently, but I remember when McDavid Cup patch autos were, $70,000, and I think the last one did over 130. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I mean, significant uptick in his big stuff. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
to tell you.
Yeah, I was about to say Tyler was super early on all this. I would just love to see some numbers. I might check some stuff out later this week just to see what the uptick has been like, because it's definitely there. I could tell.
Yeah, the action's there.
Yeah, I think the really, really good stuff, like throughout cards, is really up, but I'm not sure the mid-end stuff is quite as high. I don't think you've seen quite the jump on that. I think it's the really, 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 really good stuff, just like NT football, right?
Mario Lemieux base O-Pee-Chee PSA 9 is up 30% in the last 3 months.
But like this stuff is still up though. Like this is still like steadily rising. I check all the time.
2020.
What was that? Sorry.
2020 Prism Mega.
Yeah, Prism Football Mega, like still going up, and that's not necessarily high end, I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. I just mean like McDavid's mid-tier autos aren't like $5,000, right? Like
right.
A Brady
and like holding, you mean?
Yeah, I mean like they're still pretty strong. I mean like McDavid. I guess that's not exactly true, because I mean McDavid autos, like you used to be able to buy them for $175 to $300, and you get a McDavid auto for $300 now, it would be a pretty good deal. I don't think there's too many available. I mean, I search once a week for McDavid autos, and there's not a ton of them in that price range.
Finding out there.
So
I think that's high. I think my national, I gotta get a Wayne Gretzky. I gotta get an O-Pee-Chee and Patrick Waugh potentially.
Yeah, Patrick Waugh, man, loved him growing up.
Yeah.
Let's get into Facebook questions. I know Jay said we had a decent amount of them. So if you guys have not submitted, feel free to check out the Card Talk Facebook group. That's where we take questions every week from. So first one is from Neum. It says, now that Mbappe is staying at PSG, does that hurt his cards?
I don't think so, personally. No, I don't think so. In the media, more long term, no, personally, I don't think so, because I think it's good for his trajectory. I think he's got a shot with PSG, but I think the World Cup at the end of this year, if France flounders, that hurts his cards more, in my opinion. And his cards have been down, so I don't think this is impacting it too much going down. I think outside of Real Madrid supporters.
So, Ty, what about Haaland's cards then? Going to Man City help or hurt his cards? Because if he's,
helps immensely, in my opinion.
Because we've talked before that he's never going to win a World Cup.
Yeah, but now he did. That's why there's just, I don't think you can beat the marketing of the Premier League. He's playing with Manchester City, one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's surrounded by arguably the best players in the world. Like, that team is loaded and stacked, and they're hop, skip, and a jump from America and New York City, and they're coming off. I think they've won 4 of 5 Prem leagues. They're going to be in the Champions League no matter what. Going down the stretch, he'll probably bag something like 40 goals next year. Like, it is all signs good for Holland Cards going to the Premier League, in my opinion. That's my little sister walking around. I'm in her room right now.
All right,
Yeah,
Donald
Holland, that was a good follow, but Holland, I think it's very good for his cards.
Ty, rapid fire. 5 years from now, would you rather have Mbappe or Holland?
Mbappe.
Cards.
Mbappe.
Really?
Yeah, Mbappe.
Donald Schaefer says
5 years from now, I think you could have 2 World Cups
Interesting.
and be 28.
Donald Schaefer says, with 2021 select football not being released until July, what are your guys' thoughts on 2020 select football hobby being the best?
Not answering this question.
To have short-term and long-term. First, the 2020 draft class is stacked. We also have XRCs of the 2021 draft class. So many young QBs, plus all the wide receivers. Love the show. Born in the great state of Ohio.
We got to go to Ohio, though. Can we lock that in? I might go the other way and become an Ohio guy.
I'm down to go to an Ohio State game with Ryan, and that's it.
Lou, you want to go to Ohio State, Michigan? We'll stream it live. I'll buy the tickets. We'll go.
I would love to do that. I'm not really a Michigan fan, but I would love to do that.
Ohio State, Penn State. What's up with that?
No, I'm joking.
I think that's Halloween weekend, Ty.
At Penn State.
2020 select football best.
Yes is the answer, because 2020, like you said, XRCs are in there. So XRCs, for those that are not aware, they're like redemptions for draft picks for the following draft class. So in 2020, if you get a QB1, it would be the first quarterback taken in the next draft, which would happen to be Trevor Lawrence. The only exception to that is those redemptions expire. Right. So short term and long term is a different conversation, because redemptions that expire might not have any value if Panini's not going to offer them. Should Fanatics take over? Should Fanatics acquire Panini? Right. You're not guaranteed that those redemptions would be valid still. They have an expiration date, typically 3 years out, I believe. So in the short term, definitely. Right. Because the potential is there for Burrow, Herbert, Tua, Hurts, Love, etc. Plus, like you said, wide receivers. Justin Jefferson, among others. 2021 select not being out. It's going to have a good draft class, right? 5 QBs, Mac, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Trevor, etc. Who am I missing? Zach,
Trey Lance, Zach,
Trey Lance,
Mac.
Fields, and Lawrence. Yeah,
Davis Mills you're thinking about, yeah.
Davis Mills would be 6. But yeah, the XRCs for that aren't going to be as desirable, considering they're the next draft class, and the next draft class is not very good. Kenny Pickett was the only first-round quarterback. I don't think Malik Willis went till the 3rd. Coral, a lot of those guys are later, so I don't anticipate them being as desired.
Agree.
So,
Real
Matt,
quick.
Yep.
Justin Thomas at the PGA this weekend.
I did not see who won.
Couldn't have had any less juice for that, and I was like locked in on that, waiting for my flight.
I watched when Spieth, McIlroy, and Tiger were paired together. That's what I saw.
Justin Thomas started the day on Sunday, 7 back of the lead. Tied the largest comeback in PGA Championship history.
He won?
Won in the playoff over Zalatoris.
Yeah, it was
second
sick.
PGA Championship. Yeah, it was sick.
Zalatoris lost?
No, the other one was even worse. They got double voted on 18 to get out of the playoff. He was winning and was out of the playoff.
This dude on the was a Corn Ferry player, Mito Pereira. Was playing great all week. Bro, up 1 goes to the 18th hole. Goes up 1 on the 18th hole. Bogey puts him in the playoff. Steps to the tee and goes slice right drink. Double bogey out of it. Didn't even come in second. Came in 3rd.
All-time choke job.
Like, but everyone's like, why is he going driver? Why is he going driver? Why is he just taking
just get it, just par the hole and get out of there?
Bro, man, a par on an 18th hole to win a major. It's tough scenes. He said he just lost it. His nerves he forgot everything.
Yeah, he collapsed.
Matt says, this is more for Lou. I know Ryan and Ty both know F1, but Lou seems like the F1 god.
Wow.
But with rated ribs pulling the ultimate 101 pappy Hammy variation, do you see the price of the 2021 Sapphire dropping? And is it still a good buy to hold long term? Just wanting to see your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think it has that much of an impact on the pricing. There's tons of rookies. There's ton of one-of-ones. still to be had. I think you can make an argument that Charles is 1 of 1 or Max is 1 of 1. Will sell for a lot of money as well. Excuse Zipper in the background. Big fan long term. I would still be buying Sapphire right now if I had the money to spend on it.
Yeah, I think Sapphire is such a breaker product, right? All the different parallels. There's plenty of other
Exactly right.
one-on-ones. Even the cars. I mean, the less desired cards are still going to do well. You got golds. There's plenty of color in there. I expect Sapphire to do really well. It definitely hurts when like the big card like that gets pulled, but there's still,
But there's so many. There's
cards.
in 2021 they have the variations. Like there's plenty of stuff available.
Yep.
Yeah, like I would love to know like what the Mick 1 of 1 is going to sell. Like all that stuff is still super desirable, and people are looking for that stuff. So
agreed.
I think I need to rip some of that.
Dan Slade says, "What is your guys' definition of trade value?"
It's a good question.
What you want for the card?
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I think some people would say that current market value doesn't necessarily apply to trade value. I think that's right, but you still have to get the same ballpark. So I always consider them very similar.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
that's the right way to put it.
Jared Neal says, "I'd love to see Fanatics I would love to see Fanatics have on the back of card the type of parallel and tiny print. Don't see why it would hurt. What do you guys think? What is your guys?"
We did that already. That's before.
What?
Yeah, that's a good point, honestly, because I know sometimes for me, I'm like trying to figure out what a card is, and it's like, all right, I gotta go online.
Yeah, especially because Topps has that real tiny ass print where it's like, hey, if the last 3 numbers are different, it's a variation. If it's like 4 numbers, it's this. It's like
making it a little bit easier wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, like trying to be the most difficult thing in the world to figure out if you have a variation or not. I mean, that seems ludicrous.
Are we talking like the way like Panini just puts Prism on everything?
Yeah, like something like that. Instead of Prism, you just put like Hyper or
like right
Blue
over
Ice.
Here. Like right over here, put something. You know what I mean?
SP, image variation, color swap. Like it can't be that hard.
Or give me like a little QR code so I can look it up and see what it is. Like anything is fine.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Aligned. All right. David says, given that we are in a recession and several asset bubbles have already burst, how is that impacting Ryan's business? And what are the plays collectors should be making during a downturn like this? Ryan didn't drop the card as the hashtag. That's facts.
Respect.
Yeah. So first off, we haven't talked about this a lot on here. It's definitely very, very interesting to see because, I did not go to Dallas last weekend, but from every single person I talked to and everything I saw on Instagram, this might have been the best Dallas card show since like pre-burst, right? Pre-PSA closing down.
It looked like some action.
It looked like there was some action. But it really makes you wonder. Like, I have the same thoughts, right? Like, I think the National will be really good because, again, just of the size of it. But to see Dallas that good, right? Like, I saw a post the other day by Yahoo Finance, talks about where inflation is and isn't. The number one thing on there, right? Like, it goes through the list. Like, 4 of the top 5 things are all things required to get to the Dallas card show for me. Flights, gas, hotels, like everything's up 20, 30, 40, 50%.
It's crazy, bro.
So it's so interesting to see so many people there, right? Dallas is the second best card show in the country. That show's amazing. Outside of the National, it is so well run. It's so well attended. I love the Dallas card show, but it's definitely interesting. Like hobby box sales, I'll just be straight up, like they're down for sure. They're not nearly as high. So yeah, we still get tons of foot traffic. I think people are definitely being smarter with their money. I don't think you have people throwing out as many like, hey, I'm just going to buy 1,000 on this, 1,000 on this, right? That's just, not, but that's been going on for a while. But I think the recession definitely has an impact on your everyday card collector. I think the people that are like, there's a lot of people going to Dallas. I don't know if those are your everyday card collector. I think those are your day traders, your guys that are in it, invested in it, have made sports cards their living, their passion. Like, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm not sure it's 100% everyday collector. And I think that is going to be important in cards, because if you don't have a collector at the end of it, you're just passing around assets until somebody loses a bag, and that's a risky game.
I agree. I think that on the Dallas card show being the hottest it's ever been, I don't want to be like the negative guy here. I think if you talk to a lot of finance guys, there's a lot of people in 2008 who were having some heavy spending when the signs were already there in front of them. So I would recommend everyone be smart and be safe with their money. That's what
I've talked about this a lot on IG before, right? And I think this is an important time that, like, if you never take a win off of the table in cards, you never really made anything at all, right? So if you get a bunch of cards that are for 1,000 and you sell them all for 5,000, but you take all of those cards that you got 5,000 for and you just buy more sports cards, well, when the market goes to zero, you didn't actually do it. You didn't actually make any money. You just acquired more sports cards. So the important thing is like, as this happens, as you're flipping cards, as you're growing, taking some of those, and I call it wins off the table, taking some of those off there and putting that money aside for when they are not worth infinite amounts of money. That's important, right? Like, if everybody's cards went to zero, some people would be in really bad situations because we've not done anything to prepare ourselves for the card market not going up in perpetuity. Like, that's just the way the world works. A market doesn't go up forever.
This is true. But I will say that we've seen, just before the show, pretty much we mentioned, why is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hot and on fire? And I think those are the people are just cycling into. You're seeing it in vintage baseball, PSA 1s, PSA 2s coming off the board hot. I think it's people cycling into some less volatile pieces.
I do think the National will be a big show. I think you're going to have, again, the summer, just from someone that, this week's actually 3 years we've been open in a card store. And over those 3 years, like June and July have typically been slower months, right? May, June, July, I guess kids get out of school, people travel, right? They're typically slower months. So it's not like out of the realm of possibility that these are slower months to begin with. But I think the National could really be a nice leap forward going into the NFL season, getting ready for basketball. So I'm optimistic about the National, but yeah, I definitely think cards are in an odd spot right now. Last question. Antoine says, back in 2019, Lamar Jackson set the NFL on fire, and this made people compare him to Micahel Vick. I collect both players, and with Lamar's performance, Vick's cards saw a big bump going into the fall of 2020. Will we see the same bump to Kareem's cards when LeBron breaks his scoring record? Thanks, guys. I don't think those two things coincide.
I think I get what Antoine's saying. It's like because people got excited about Lamar, it reminded people of Micahel Vick. I can kind of sort of see that. I think
didn't everything kind of pop in the fall?
Right, exactly. I think it's more of that, but it's an interesting angle to consider, right? Like as records are broken, these people, especially all-time records like that, these people get a little bit more shine, makes people remember them a little bit, but I think it's a little too much of a stretch for me.
Yeah. I'm going to go with stretch.
Yeah, I like that. I just think a lot of things. I mean, Randy Moss, you could say, Jerry Rice. Like, there was just a lot of.
Yeah, I just don't think when, like, Justin Jefferson has, like, the most yards in the 3-year career, and, like, Larry Fitzgerald's second all time on that list, or whoever's second all time, we're like, dang, that Larry Fitzgerald guy. I just don't see that as much. I understand the LeBron scoring record. That's a much bigger deal than Justin Jefferson's what fake record. But yeah, I'm just not sure. Like, somebody moves down the scoring list and we're like, I should go buy their cards. I don't know. Everybody's got their opinion. I respect the take, but to me, I would say I don't think it has I just don't think there's enough of a bump where you're like, man, LeBron passing Kareem really set Kareem cards on fire. I just don't think you'll be able to. I just don't think the bump would be as, I don't think it's there.
Agreed.
So, all right, let's get into play of the week.
We need to
play of the week. Play.
Can I read some play of the week stuff this week? I never
Yes,
get to read.
exactly. Because Jay said, sorry for all the long descriptions this week.
All right, I'm down to read. I'll be a reader this week. I'll embarrass myself.
So,
I also have a very, very, very unfortunate video of myself in a batting cage of Econ. I think we should probably share with people. It's
with the left, right?
It's not a great video.
Yep. They both got to be bombs. Oh, okay. Eye on the ball. Okay.
Lefty.
Yeah, it's not.
You weren't getting the hips through.
it's kind of ironic that Lou, we call Lou Lefty there, considering my guy didn't even know who Lefty was.
Okay. Court, I will send you the video. Jay, have you seen the video? Play of the week.
It's with the left.
It was a short bat, and I was on a tee, and I wasn't ready, so I'm just letting everyone know.
Came in low, caught the tee.
All right. Slady 85 cards from Mike. Here's my submission for play of the week. When Marvel PMG started going crazy, I started to look into alternative Marvel cards that I thought could have future value. I stumbled across Upper Deck Exquisite Marvel. With how big Exquisite is in the sports world, I knew that the brand has potential for Marvel, so I added it to my save searches. One day, I noticed a Spider-Man out of 125 popped up for $30 bin and free shipping. With Spider-Man being arguably the most popular character, I knew this seemed cheap. I quickly comped it and found sales from $200 to $675 raw. I instantly smashed the bin. Once I received it, I listed it on eBay for $7.99 OBO. I ended up accepting an offer for $550 less than 24 hours after receiving the card. One thing I learned is there's a lot of value in understanding a product, player, and character. It allows you to get into some quick deals without hesitation. Thanks for the content. Thanks for the great content. # not from Ohio. Love that.
Ty.
How did we get this for $30? I don't understand how these things happen.
It's a brilliant play. Spider-Man is OG. Obviously, we had a lot of Marvel chatter. I mean, when I think about Marvel GMGs, I'm just like, what have I been doing with my life? Slad 85 cards was what it was. Just want to give a little love there. Yeah,
I think it's
play.
Slady, right?
No,
Slady 5?
Slad.
Slady 5?
Slady 5? Like
Yeah,
instead of
Slady 5.
85?
Yeah, Slady 5 cards.
Slady? But it's like 85. So it's.
I just don't think it's Slad 85.
So you think he's instead of saying 80, he's saying Slady?
That's a stretch.
Slady 5?
I think it's all one. Yeah, I think it would be Slat _ 85 cards if that's what it was.
Okay.
Maybe get a little IG poll going.
Yeah, maybe his nickname was Slay 85, and he wore 85 when he played sports.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe his last name's Slad, and he's
what
Slad 85. All right. I love the play. Just adjacent plays are everything. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I got to go buy that Messier Brian Leach card because it feels like it's gonna be a big one.
I agree. All right, next one, Jay. I just sent you guys that video to watch while I read this next one. From Esteban Cards, submission for play of the week. I was at a local card show and I noticed a raw Bowman First Andy Page's True Orange Refractor Auto of 25. The dealer was asking $800. I noticed there was no raw comps, but that a PSA 10 recently did 3.9K on alt. I figured a raw could not be that low and ended up offering $650, which he accepted. I posted it on Twitter and immediately got offers for 1.5K. The card was pretty clean, so I passed on the offers and decided to send it to PSA. A few weeks later, it came back and received a Gem Mint 10. We'd love to see that. Ended up selling it for 4K through Twitter. After PayPal fees and grading fees, ended up with a 3K profit. Don't sleep on baseball. Thanks, Esteban.
Man said Jemmy.
Little Jemmy play.
Little Jemmy for the boys.
Jemmy. That was fire. That's a great play.
Big fan. Love checking on alt. I think something that's low key about cards right now, I'm not sure if we discussed it. I think we have a little bit. There's so many avenues now for sales, and there's not a lot of aggregation of that information.
Sure.
It's PWCC. It's alt.
Sure.
It's eBay. It's
We've talked about,
it's Twitter. It's Instagram.
We've talked about this before in terms of like what will be the staple for card comps going forward, right? You've got Card Ladder, alt, eBay, PWCC, Golden. There's all these different apps on there. Then you go to card shows, you've got Whatnot, you've got card shops, like you've got all these different places, Twitter, Instagram, like you got all these different places selling cards. So what are we doing? Everybody's comping eBay. But there's major cards selling on Golden, PWCC, all like there's cards everywhere. Fucking Costco has cards for sale on their website now. It's like, what are we using to actually comp cards? So
Yep.
I think it leads to really good opportunity because you can't check every single page every single day, 5 times a day. Like it's a lot of work. So I think that leads to a lot of opportunity if you really know what you're doing.
That is exactly right. I think a lazier person would have checked eBay once and maybe seen something that was either way too high or way too low, and that affects how you go into the offer, and that hurts your chance to get the card potentially. Excellent job by Esteban.
Aligned.
Next one, Jay. All right, cool.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
Cornfield Collects. Says, I only collect football, and after seeing a yard sale with football cards listed in the item section of the Facebook post, I decided to go upon arrival. There wasn't much to speak of, but I continued to look in the bottom of the box. There were some cards in a bag labeled random. I opened it up and immediately found a GSP 101 Topps UFC auto and a Stone Cold Steve Austin match used matte, along with a gold Mike Trout Topps and a Michael Thomas PSA 10 and an Eli Manning card. I offered the guy $200 and he gladly accepted. I knew I had something decent. The next day I took them to my local LCS after having an offer for $500 for the GSP 101 by itself. I took $500 plus a Joe Thomas auto. Some might say I was stupid for not making more off of this, but for me, I wanted to give back to the LCS. I can't think of a better place for my fiance and I to go every Saturday. They have made our lives better, and I'm just trying to do what I can to keep them going.
I love it. That's the right way to approach it, too. It's like, love your spot, give back to your spot. I think it's a great find, too.
Yeah, I love a GSP and a Stone Cold Steve Austin in a random box.
Love that.
Someone got buried by the family yard sale.
Mom put him. Mom
or
him
dad.
out random, and son's gonna come home and say, "Hey, where's that bag of random stuff I had?"
Like those are 2 sweet cards. Like the 101 GSP. Tough scene.
To throw away a 101 GSP auto is a tough sell for that person who found out that their card is gone.
Yeah, the Stone Cold. I mean, like a kid was a deep fan of both, collected both, and didn't even get asked if they could be put out in the yard sale.
It's Topps now, so they had to get that real quick. They were online, all that stuff. Good find by Cornfield, though.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Jay, wait. Jay, did you make a mistake?
No, Jay.
Jay,
did
Jay make a mistake?
No, we were doing so well.
Emily.
We got to queue up the 0 days since the last incident graphic.
Emily, you're in charge of Play of the Week.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
I can only imagine how many Play of the Week winners have been buried over their
We'll
time.
talk about it later. Jay, find out who the right person is for this, please.
Well, it says Lady 5 cards.
It's Slad 85, all right?
But it's
Slad
probably
85.
not.
Sladite.
I just want to point out that it's possible this was the correct Sleddy 5 card.
The other one wasn't Sladite.
Jeez, oh my goodness.
It's possible the last one was.
The disrespect.
I will fix it. I will fix it.
So we're not sure who these belong to, but we'll figure it out.
Sladite was, and the other one was coming at the Ohioans originally.
Yes.
There's a real issue here.
This one says, coming for the Ohioans. Thank you guys for everything. My play is a mix of card show hustle and a regrade of the GOAT. I love going to shows, looking for dealers willing to make deals. And at a local show in Tampa, I was able to buy up a few less desirable Brady rookies at about 70% of current comps. That was the first move. See the picture for the cards. At the same show, I ran across a 2004 Fleer Tradition Crystal Brady numbered to 150. It was a PSA 6, and he was asking 175. Only comp at the time was $500 raw. The card seemed really nice to get a 6. Of course, PSA is much better at grading cards than me, but I had to chance it. I offered the guy 125 for the card, and he accepted. I cracked the slab, looked it over, and I even was more convinced it was undergraded. So I sent it to SGC on a 10-day sub, 2 weeks later, my Brady came back with his tux as an SGC 8. Pumped. Now I had to price it. Comps were listed cards only. There was 2 BGS 9s listed for $5,200 and for $3,800. So I priced mine at $2K. This past weekend, I flew to Dallas for the card show and put it in my showcase. Pro tip for dealers: take a picture of your showcases and post them in your card Facebook groups. Now you are selling in multiple places at the same time. Friday evening, I got a DM on Facebook asking about my Brady cards. 4 rookies and the 1 crystal with a total sticker price of $3,100. Remember the 4 rookies I had bought for a total of $77 previously, and the Brady crystal I was in for about $175 total purchase and regrade. The guy asked me how much, and I told him to make me an offer. He said $2,800, which I quickly replied with, "If you can cover PayPal fees, we got a deal." 5 minutes later, I had $2,800 in my PayPal account for a total profit of $1,830 after expenses.
I love this. I would quickly say that this is Champa Bay cards. I just looked in our DMs. Champa Bay _cards. Shout out to you, Jimmy, for this play.
Appreciate you, Champa Bay. Not to be confused with
Slate
Tampa
85.
I hate to see it. I love this play. I love that little tip about the Facebook. I don't hate that as an idea going forward. I might start doing that as well.
Yeah, throw it in like the IG story.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, right?
Yep. As long as you have time to answer DMs.
Yes,
exactly.
Yep.
I mean,
Heck
you
of a
got
play.
Yeah.
There's some interesting little Brady stuff floating around, huh?
Brady.
Yeah, Brady seems like a safe guy.
I agree. He might be like the safest guy in football.
7 titles is a lot.
Yeah, you
A
can't
lot
make
of
that up.
titles. You're not taking those away from old touchdown Tom.
I agree. Well, you might.
How many does Mahomes have?
1.
Super Bowl trips, 1. 2 Super Bowl trips, right?
He has a regular season MVP. He has a Super Bowl win, a Super Bowl MVP, and a Super Bowl loss.
Yep.
And Brady's got 7 Super Bowl wins.
Correct.
Yep.
Bye,
And the
Brady.
one that matters the most is beating Mahomes, so that when Mahomes
I
wins
was
a
at-
bunch,
I was at
when a
the-
bunch more, when Mahomes wins a bunch more, he's gonna say, "Well, he didn't beat touchdown Tom."
Damn.
So, in his first year in Tampa too.
Damn.
Actually, I wasn't thinking.
All right, next one, Jay.
I think that's it, right? I think that's it, and I think I know who my winner is.
All right, Lou, we'll
It's
let
not
you go.
it.
Oh wait,
Wow.
whoa, Jay. Wow.
Oh,
Stunner.
Lou, you want to go?
Okay, yeah. Kevin, I think it says real Kev Y. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, Kevin. On April 30th, I had come across a lot of 68 Real Madrid cards on eBay with the title Hidden Gems Real Madrid Massive Lot. Yeah, I rock. Okay. The interesting thing about this lot is that it included a 1-of-1 autograph of Kareem Benzema. Is that how you say his last name?
Mhm.
Kareem
and,
Benzema, one of the best
Okay,
players.
and then how do you say the other one?
Luis
And the-
Figo.
that one, Obsidian red autograph of 5, but there were also some other low key cards in the lot, including 5 Takahiro
Nakai.
Yep. Topps first edition Star Ball parallels that had been selling around $50 each. The lot also included a black parallel Naki first edition, which Nakai, which is numbered out of 10, but not listed in the auction description and was on the second page of pictures. I used my knowledge of the market on the Nakais and other players to pull the trigger on purchasing the auction on May 1st for $540.13. Okay. The day I received the cards in the mail, Real Madrid had just beaten Chelsea in the Champions League, claiming a spot in the final and helping to boost the potential of the lot. I ended up trading the Luis to a friend for a Kai Havertz gold framed card from Futera and some other PC cards. The names of these are killing me.
Shout out to Terry. You did good on Kai Havertz.
Thank you. I listed the rest on eBay, and as of today, have sold 1,400 worth of the card and still have nearly half the cards to sell, including the Benzema autograph 1-of-1, the Nakai black of 10, and ended up paying for the entire lot itself, selling for a shocking $680. All in all, I received a super nice PC card and made a really nice profit and added inventory to my store in preparation of Real potentially winning the Champions League. Thank you for your consideration. That was a war for me to get through that, just so we're clear.
You battled.
Yeah, I really
That
battled.
was a battle.
Just to be clear, whoever listed that Real Madrid lot, that's an all-time mistake.
Yeah.
How do you not put names in there?
I mean, how do you list $680 cards in a lot in bulk pictures on bed sheets? I mean, that's an all-time, no. You have $1,000 cards, brother. We got to get a scanner.
$680 cards on a bed sheet is
Listen.
very funny.
Some people just are like, and he even said hidden gems. Like he literally was like, I'm gonna hide this.
He was
from-
very clear about
from
that.
y'all.
Not
It was-
auto, not out of 10, not nobody's
and
name.
just said, there's
He
a
put a
lot of
soccer
hidden
ball
gems in
emoji
here.
and a white circle emoji in the title.
I
Over
respect it.
out of 10. He put an exclamation. So we have an exclamation, a soccer ball, and a white circle instead
They're in a
of
rush.
auto out of 10.
Jay,
Graded.
can you
1
do me a favor? Can you follow back my man Wyrick? I mean, he's just begging for a follow back up top right, and
That's true. We
it's
should get
just
him in there for
it's
sure.
just rude at this point.
It's rude.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's finish this first, and I want to talk about how many people came up to me this week with soccer team recommendations for me. It was insane.
Did you pick one?
I'm close.
So we'll make that announcement live on Card Talk.
Yeah, we'll do a decision style.
Okay.
Can I read
Like
this? out?
LeBron decision day or like NFL like signing day for like a
LeBron
college
decision.
When
style.
are you deciding?
Probably next week on Card Talk.
Hell of a
Okay.
cliffhanger.
No, here's a text we just got. No card talk play, but my 2 cents on
Wait, let's
Lou's
finish.
new-
Let's finish play of the week first.
Okay.
I think this is the winner.
Jay, go back through him.
I think it's Cornfield, or I think it's the last
Start at the jump. Okay, so we got this. 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 Okay. Something I'm going to say it's Spider-Man is my play of the week. And something that I want to address is that, Jay, I believe we need to do a far better job at showing proof of sale. Someone that one play of the week just won a card that sold for $6,000. And we got people out here with hypotheticals, potentially. I'm not sure what info they're providing, but there's a lot of plays in here that I love, truly love. But we're starting to go a little bit off of hearsay on the flip side. And I just want to clean that up.
We just need proof of PayPal something.
Just need to tighten it up.
In
a
the
little
DMs
bit.
to Jay. Doesn't need to be on the show.
So
don't
let's
disagree
slide
with
through
that.
here. That's why I'm going to go with this one because it's clean. It shows the sale. I think this is also a great play. A
Yeah.
brilliant play.
Yeah, I actually agree. Until we have receipts, I don't think it should count.
That's to be fair, for 43, 44 straight weeks, we have not done that, and to not give anybody any heads up on that, I think it would be unfair to the 4 or 5 people here to make that rule now, considering we've not done that for the 43 winners previously.
We've addressed it, I believe, in the past, but then we fluctuate. Jay, what's going on?
I get a lot more information than what I put into the slides. I don't feel like it's necessary to put a slide of a PayPal screenshot, but they typically send over all the information. If not, like looking at all these plays. I mean, this one right here was verified on eBay. You know, the first
As long
one,
as it's verified, I feel good about it.
I'm just going
this
off
one was sold to somebody that we might know, and
you know the person that owns the local card shop?
we might.
Is that an Ohioan? Did he sell it to you, Ryan?
Jay, you just fucked it up. Are you serious?
No, we were supposed to be fair, we talked about this before those two came in, and you were supposed to tell them live on the air.
We were live on the air. I was live on the air.
I was
were
gonna
live
pick
on
the
air.
Cornfield one. Now it has no chance.
Jay, are you fucking? So
Well, I blame Tyler because he's getting on my back for not verifying.
No, you scooped the scoop, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe that just happened.
Hold out for Ryan to drop that.
Oh,
It's a
I didn't say a
classic
word.
Jay.
I didn't say anything for anybody. All I was trying to put, so I told Jay, I didn't think it should be included, right? so some backstory. I was not in the shop Sunday. He came in on Sunday, sent us a DM, just said, "Hey, worked out a deal with you guys. Love you guys." Like, sent a picture of him and Brian, one of our employees, at the shop. He's like, "Hey, love you guys. Worked out this deal. Like, we love coming here. Thanks for being you." Like, very nice DM. I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." He's like, "I'm gonna submit for Play of the Week." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Right? So I get on the show this morning. You guys aren't here, and Jay's like, "Ryan, like, he submitted." And I was like, "Is it this one?" I was like, "We shouldn't include it." Like, and Jay's like, "Oh no, we'll include it." So I was like, "All right, we'll leave it." Like. So
I'm sticking to it. I'm picking Cornfield. He was who I was gonna pick. I'm sticking.
So listen, so I didn't say a word, right? So then I'm like, that's why I said Lou, like, who you got? And Ty, who you got? Like, I wasn't gonna say a word because I'm like, hey, this is what happened, and I was gonna drop it after because what I was trying to prove is like, if you don't know they're from Ohio, Ohio is far superior at Play of the Week. And Jay's like, "Well, you might know the LCS that owns it."
Oh no, Jay!
They called me out, Ryan. They called me out, so I had to, explain why these are verified sales. We know the LCS. The LCS verified that it came through his shop. So, here we go.
So
I'm picking Cornfield. I also have spoken to Cornfield many times, I believe.
Yeah, he tags you on your story every day about like Ohio winning Play of the Week. He tags you once a week on that.
Is that true?
Yeah, he tags you, me, Card Talk, and I think Tyler.
That's funny.
Plays the Ohio State theme song, or the Ohio State marching band. Like,
I love that move.
Just an all-time move. So, yeah, it was fantastic.
It seems like this is going to be a audience vote anyway, right? Didn't you guys pick 3 different plays?
I mean, to be
Who'd
honest,
you guys take? Who'd you guys take?
Again, right? I'm obviously involved in this. Like, this is a good play. So, regardless, if this was to me or any LCS, I would pick the Real Madrid sale. That's an all-time lot.
Who'd you pick,
like,
right?
The Real Madrid lot. Yeah, it wouldn't even be close.
All right, I'm on the Real Madrid lot.
Like, I love Cornfield. Like, I love the play. Like,
Jay.
It was funny because like I was hoping you guys would pick it without me saying anything, and then we could talk about it and like just prove Ohio just dominates. But this is a very good play. This is an all-time type lot.
I
like
agree.
To be able to buy $680 cards on bed sheets, like that's the winner. So this would be my winner.
I was gonna pick Cornfield, but the Real Madrid lot came in at the end was really heavy.
Yes.
What a turn of events.
I can't believe Jay just like absolutely.
What a turn of events, Jay. Honestly, I'm sorry for even like pushing on the verification thing. I'm so sad. That's so funny. Oh man, that is
absolutely
good stuff.
hate to see it.
But yeah, so anyway, I can't believe the amount of people that were like, "Yo, you gotta do West Brom, yo, Sunderland, yo," like it was unreal.
Do you like? So let's do this since we're doing it live on air next week. Give us the top 3 schools, right? Give us your top 3 choices, like we would for like signing day. Top 3. Who are we like? Who's in contention?
Are you prepared for that?
I'm not prepared for that, but give me a second. Let me check.
Let me read this DM that we got just to give you a little something, and then you can get into the top 3 if you're ready.
Okay, I will.
Classic Ryan with like a name the top 17 teams you're interested in.
Yeah, name your 14 favorite teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, and then the left back for each one of them. No, this is from numbered to 99 on Instagram. No card talk play, but my 2 cents on Lou's new UK football team. Sunderland is a good option. Just got promoted back to the championship after a few years battling a bad downfall, which is documented on Netflix. It's a good watch, actually. They have potential to keep rising. I'm a West Ham United fan and would welcome Lou as a hammer anytime he wants. Also, we are on Tyler's United's tail and not far from that. It's completely incorrect. West Ham just had one of their best campaigns of all time. United just had one of their worst campaigns of all time, and they're on their tail. So please let me know what team he decides, and I'll get a jersey out to him across the pond. Thank you, Ben. Ben,
thank you.
I hope some way you're able to keep your boy Declan Rice.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I know what my top 3. I know what my top 3 is. My top 3 is number 1. I think is West Brom. I'm really hot on West Brom, and I had a couple people roll up on me, including Hitman. Shout out to Hitman Collects, who came up to me this weekend, which I appreciated. I'm really into Sheffield. I think that like really fits my vibe very, very well.
Chef is fire.
And I also really like Nottingham. Nottingham has real legs to me, and I think that's like the American. It's owned by an American, I believe. There's
Nottingham Forest.
I believe.
Nottingham kind of has a fire logo.
I mean, that was
Should
a
we
big
go to a
piece of the puzzle for
championship
me.
game? We should
I
go
would
over
love
for
to
a
go to. I would
championship match.
love to go to a big championship game.
I'm into it. Also, Brandon Aronson is about to make a transfer to Leeds United, which is the club that's owned by
USA kid.
USA kid. Leeds United's owned by the San Francisco 49ers crew. They have an American manager, and they just survived relegation by like a point.
Wait, who is this?
Brendan Aronson.
Brandon Aronson.
What is the team?
Leeds United. They're in the Prem.
They're in the Prem. Okay.
They're in the Prem, yeah.
What about Swansea?
American-born manager, Jesse Marsh. It's like
Okay.
Ted Lasso a little bit.
Okay, I will have a decision next week, and I will be buying merch at full sending.
Let's go. We need a hat.
I need more than a hat. I might get 3 hats for next week to have in front of me,
Fire. Oh, that would be dope.
like a real decision day type of
Yeah.
National
Are
Signing
there
Day.
some footy products coming out? Like Panini, Mosaic, Sapphire.
Just an FYI, I have to run. We're 8 minutes over.
Okay, we're leaving. Let's
I
wrap.
was waiting on you to say that.
Yeah, real quick. Impeccable Basketball is the big one this week. So Impeccable will be, I think it's currently at $3,000 a box. You got Mosaic Premier League Soccer is coming out. You've got Stadium Chrome, Bundesliga, Stature, Hockey, Leaf Memories Basketball, Premier Prism, EPL Breakaway. And that's it this week. So Impeccable, couple soccer.
Speaking of Leaf, did you see that lawsuit finally came
Yeah, they're
through?
going at CD Lamb hard.
Yeah, interesting.
Word on the streets is never mind. I was gonna break some news.
Yep,
but
let's keep that to ourselves. I think I know where you're going with that. We'll talk about that at a later date.
Yep.
Love finding out everything with the audience, but
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you're finding it out with the audience?
I don't think so.
What if I
Mr.
was
Ryan?
the audience and found it out from you?
Mr. Ryan. All right.
hopefully Jay doesn't ruin any more spoils. So
Jesus, that
Shout
was
out
so
to Jay.
mean. That was uncalled for.
Especially because he messed up the names this week. So he's like, hey, if I messed up, we got to throw everybody else under the bus.
Ryan loves a good opportunity to jump on me. You could go figure
I
You
like
did earn
when
it
the
this
ape with the headphones just pops into the chat from behind you.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of it. That's a nice,
That is a nice
label
piece.
right there. But that you missed.
Right.
That was a big mistake. We're gonna wrap it up though.
I'm out. 0 days since the last incident on Car Talk. See you guys.
Peace and love. I love Jay. Bye.
Peace.